live at Lollapalooza on 105.7 The Point.
It's 105.7 The Point, everything alternative. It's Donnie, more backstage from Lollapalooza. I am now joined by one of my favorite rock and roll bands, Wolfmother. Right there. See, there you are. Wolfmother right there in front of you. How are you guys? It's very nice. It's very nice to see you. And you were one of the bands that when the lineup was first announced, I was very excited to know that you were going to be a part of it. Because the live show, stupid with you guys. It's so good, man. It's so good.
Thanks.
So, been a busy year, or last year or so. Cosmic Egg's been out now for well over a year. Are you still technically touring in support of? Or you're just out and about doing it because they asked you to?
Well, I think we're doing this because it's such a good festival. Like every time, this is my second time playing at Lollapalooza. So whether it was for anything, I'd be here.
Yeah.
I'd be here. So I think that's the reason. Just because we are suckers for touring and being cheered. Hopefully.
And you get you're guaranteed. Honestly, they're gonna have a gigantic, crowd out there, and it just seems, it's kind of a gimme. You know what I mean? You see the other bands playing, and you're like, sign us up. We're in, because it just seems like it's your fans right there in front of you.
Yeah.
So what do we have? What is on the way? What is forthcoming? What are you guys got going on? And I want to say this: that song with Slash on his CD, fantastic.
Thank you.
Your vocals, if you haven't heard "By the Sword," it's a really, really great track,
Thank
all
you.
the way around. But it's really good. What's coming up for Wolfmother?
Well, just before we started this tour, we spent a little while in my home studio, writing a few, trying some ideas. A few demo ideas that I had and going through them, and Will's just signed up, and so we recorded a few songs in my home studio, and we're hoping to maybe we're not sure what to do with it at the moment, whether we should just put that out as an EP, as an album, or anything. But it's kind of like this music is sort of like, some of it is just like 70s surf movie kind of music. It's just like sit down, light a fire, and some of it, I guess, is it's a bit lighter than Cosmic Egg. Had a kind of like heavy, full throttle kind of side to it. This is kind of a bit more uplifting and maybe a bit more bluesier as well, like really like good beer drinking, surf movie, blues. I'm trying to throw as much out. I haven't described it yet, but
what do you think kind of made that sort of departure happen? I mean, departure, I guess maybe not the total word, but why do you think that it went that way different from Cosmic Egg?
Well, Cosmic Egg, in some ways, some of those songs are really hard to like pull off live. Like some of the songs like Phoenix, like by the time you get to the end of the song, you're like, whoosh. We actually can play that song. Jeez, it's like, so now it's just like trying to find a good feeling, just trying to find like records like Tonight's the Night, Neil Young, or On the Beach, or just trying to think, how did those bands and those albums that I love, how did they get that good feeling and just capture that moment? So kind of looking for that, like going to the home studio where there's no pressure, doing different things, keeping it lo-fi, home recording, just trying to like see how the kind of lo-fi scenario works.
Right.
Yeah.
And with the way technology is, if you guys wanted to release those songs just as a digital EP or anything like that, it seems to me you guys can get the music out a lot quicker with the way that things work now.
Ring up iTunes.
Yeah.
Oh, can we put 3 songs on? How much is it? $30? Cool. What's the name of the song? Yeah, put it up.
I saw one thing I definitely wonder about artists is I know you guys had a song on the not very long ago on the Alice in Wonderland soundtrack.
Yeah.
Which it's the name of the song it all tied into the movie. So I guess you had the opportunity to write it for the movie.
What happened was we did a show for Neil Young Bridge School festival in San Francisco, and after that we went to New Orleans and played a festival in New Orleans, and I was messing around with this riff, and it was like when we got back from touring that time, I called up my manager. I was like, hey, do they still want a song for that Alice in Wonderland film? And he was like, yeah, you've got one day.
Oh.
It's like the cutoff is tomorrow. So I like called up Ian and Aiden. It's like, hey, do you want to come over and buy a desk? So we just went down to the local like mic. What do you call it? Like some backline audio. It's like, there's a desk. We'll buy that. Couple of mic. Took it back. Put it in the house. Recorded it. Mixed it. Sent it off.
In a day.
In a day, they heard it, and luckily they liked it.
Wow.
And
That's cool, man. That's crazy turnaround. I don't work well under pressure, though, so I appreciate those that do. What's it like being the new guy in Wolfmother? Like, is there crazy rituals? Like, you didn't have to, like...
Oh, I had to light myself on fire. That was a little terrifying the first time, but it's great.
he's struggling with the caffeine intake.
How did it come about, though? Like, how did it come about for you to be welcomed into the fold?
I found out through this guy Harmar Superstar, who I was actually touring with at the time, that that the guys were looking for somebody to play the summer festivals and stuff, and so he had kind of mentioned that to me, and he's like, "Oh, I gave him your info or whatever," and I was like, "Oh, cool, thanks." And then I immediately ran to the computer and tried to find their manager's number and everything. Sent an email to their old manager accidentally, but I was like, even if there's probably no chance I'll end up getting this gig, but it would be awesome just to jam with those guys.
Right.
So and it just happened to work out that Andrew was in LA doing stuff with Slash, so they did some auditions and stuff, and I think we just kind of hit it off really well. We just had good chemistry, I was pretty nervous, so trying to remember the songs and stuff. I didn't do the best job, but I just think we had good chemistry and stuff, so I think that was a big part of it.
Do you kind of know right away? Is that, I would imagine that maybe the first, the first time with somebody new, I would bet you get a pretty good sense, or correct me if I'm wrong, that they're going to work well with you guys.
Well, the thing after because we were touring for about 10 months, and Dave left because he wanted to spend time at home with his son, which is totally cool.
Right.
So after 10 months of touring, it was a bit hard to audition drummers and be like, okay, can you play this song and this song exactly right? Because we were just like, I couldn't be bothered playing those songs again. So it was more like, let's just try and jam, or let's just see this as how could this be interesting in making new music as well as playing what we've already done. So it's that's what I was kind of looking for, is this could work in making new music more so than getting Woman exactly right or Joker right, because you can work that out later on. So that's kind of, I guess, how I went into it,
right on.
What I was looking for.
Well, gentlemen, thank you so very much for your time.
Yeah.
I'm sure at some point, and I can't believe normally I'm the master at the record company guys going, all right, you've talked to him enough. You've worn him out, so let him go. But I haven't gotten that, so that's pretty nice. Thank you guys very much. We appreciate it, and we cannot wait to see you again in St. Louis. I mean, your live show is unbelievable, and I think that you're one of the bands that, you're in that group of bands that I would say travel to see that band. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
go out of town and see that band. If they're coming anywhere in the Midwest, do it because you will not be disappointed. It is just good rock and roll, straight ahead. Have the
Hey.
beers and do it up. Ladies and gentlemen,
Thank
live
you.
at Lollapalooza, Wolfmother. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
No worries.
Very
Thank
cool.
you. Yeah.